What's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of the Dag Life Podcast here at the Dean Aguilar Group in San Diego. With your host, as always, Louis Pisano, very special guest, one of the homies on the crew, Mr. Chad McChinnick, a.k.a. Carlsbad Chatty Daddy. What's up, dude?
Happy to be here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You ready to rock?
I'm ready.
Cool. Awesome. Super stoked to have you, dude. Obviously, we've been talking for some time about getting you on the show, and I know it's some scheduling conflict and bullshit.
I got nervous.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Why? Why are you nervous?
And getting in front of a camera and just being myself, and it's nerve-wracking.
Just
sometimes.
being this same jackass that you are outside.
Exactly, dude. I am pretty out of pocket with a lot of my life and stuff, so getting in front of a camera could be a liability, but we're here.
Hey, it could also be an asset, right? Perspective is everything, dude. Honestly,
exactly.
The best part about the most fun that I have doing this stuff is just it's authentic.
Yeah.
It's just there's no holding back. We're just having fun. There's a lot for us to talk about today.
Yeah.
And obviously knowing each other now for going on 2.5 years since we were one of the first people that talked together before you joined the team.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot about you, a lot of annoying ass shit about you. But there's also a lot of good to you.
True.
And I can guarantee there's also a lot of shit that people don't know about. And I'm excited to have the convo with you and just talk shop and talk about everything, real estate related and beyond, because that's what we do here. Yeah. Right? It's all about everything that comes with the person in terms of real estate and life, right? So obviously jumping into, who you are as a person, how you got into real estate, tell us a little bit about Carlsbad Chad and what that was like kind of coming into real estate.
So pretty unconventional time period after high school. I went to Cal Poly SLO, joined a fraternity with
Shocker.
Yeah.
Shocker.
With my older brother.
If you can't tell by your frat outfit.
I was the DJ pledge. So they threw me in the party scene, and after a year I learned that lifestyle was not for me. So I moved back home which is Sonoma County, Northern California.
Mm-hmm.
Moved back there. My brother, he is 10 years older than me, 35 years old.
Talking about Bryce?
Shout out Richard McChinnick. Richard McChinnick, cross-country mortgage lender over in NorCal. And
quick plug.
Literally what started this career was, you should be a realtor, dude.
That one line.
Yeah, so that was my brother. My dad, he's owned McChinnick Incorporated, building quality homes. That's what he's done his whole life.
Yeah.
So I grew up on the construction side of things, and then with my brother being a lender and me liking to talk to people, it made sense for my brain at 18 years old.
Right.
So I pursued the courses, did everything online. I got my license within a year, and I did my first year of real estate there. Closed $4 million almost in sales volume for my first year there, and I was like, "Oh, I'm the man. I could move to San Diego and do this.
King of the hill, baby."
So I moved to San Diego, and I realized it's a lot harder to start a business from scratch here.
Shocker.
So yeah, anybody out there listening, if you have a sphere, definitely take advantage of that. If you're starting, real estate business, anybody listening out there, it's the people will help you immensely with support in your business, and a lot of people I see don't take advantage of that, and a lot of people don't realize that on the other hand too. And the people that do, like my other brother, shout out you, Bryce McChinnick, realtor in Northern California, working with my other brother Richard as lender. He's on his first year here, and right now he's got about $4 million under contract currently, and he's closed this year already around $5 million.
Great. So
he's working his sphere, doing social media, stuff like that, and it's hometown homies.
Yeah, different ballgame, dude.
Exactly.
It's funny, I say it all the time. Like if I was still in Jersey, my hometown, doing real estate, I do 100 deals a year in my sleep without even much effort, right? Yeah. But again, right, it's also that component to where it's the challenges of kind of makes us better and makes us separate ourselves, right, too. We all know those realtors where sure, you're here from San Diego, you got a big sphere. That's amazing. That's cool.
Yeah.
What else are you doing outside of that?
Yeah.
Right? It's not always power to you for being able to have that, but there's also plenty of people. Now, great, if you only want to work sphere because that's all you have to do and you work construction, power to you, bro.
Yeah.
But the struggle is definitely real when you have to build an actual business pipeline and create a business from scratch, right? So what was it that brought you down to San Diego? Because you do have that home base up there, right? There's a lot of opportunities. So what was it where it's I need to be in San Diego?
It was the lifestyle.
Yeah.
I was 23 at the time, and I was working at Coldwell Banker, and AKA retirement home. That office there, not the company specifically, just the office I was working at was, a lot of elderly agents.
Yeah.
And I didn't connect with them, and I was really just trying to find my people. And I lived here before, and I knew I wanted to come back here. I love this place, Carlsbad. It's a beautiful city. I love the beach, the people, like just the life,
vibe.
the whole life, and like everybody. It's amazing. It's what I wanted to be. And I got on the phone with you, and I was like, "Oh, this is my dude." Like,
We're going back like over 2 years now.
Yeah, so
right?
that was right after COVID.
Yeah.
So my real estate career was COVID, moved here, and then we got the NAR settlement. So that's so it's been a little challenging starting in this
different
industry.
Yeah.
But I think those skills that I've gained and those experiences that I've gone throughout these couple years starting this out is gonna help me later on in the business, because if I was just working my sphere here and whatever, what if things go bad and I don't have the skills
to pick up other clients?
Exactly.
Or to have another pillar of business, right? And
yeah,
and it's one of those things we talk about all the time, right? And it's something that I always reflect back is like, could we go back and change certain things? Sure.
Yeah.
Could we go back and fix mistakes? Sure. But where would we be if we did that? Like, who would we be if we fixed the things that didn't go wrong, right? All the bad shit that happened to us, and it pertains to everything.
Yeah.
Business, when you're an entrepreneur, because let's face it, realtors are their own business owners, their own boss.
1099, baby.
Where, we control the outcome by the effort that we put in, but at the same time, it's like there's so many other moving parts that come with it where we have to go through those growing pains. And how many people came into real estate during COVID? I was one of them. I was one of them, put that out there, but they're no longer in real estate. It's because they came in for a quick buck. You had Starbucks baristas jumping in, and fucking busters in the nightclub industry jumping in to close a couple deals because it was
easy. You
easy.
To swear on here?
Fuck yeah. Hey,
game changer.
Of fucking course you can.
All right.
It's fan-fucking-tastic, trust me.
Cool.
But everyone and their mother became a realtor during COVID, and like, hey, you got in to get a quick buck, like you made your money.
Yeah.
But where are they now? Back to their other fields because they didn't have the skill.
Exactly.
They didn't learn through the hard times. They just got out when it was hard because they couldn't progress through it.
Yeah.
So the ones that survived that, just people that survived going through real estate during 2008, 2009, right after the bubble, right? And everyone going through the NAR settlement changes is the people growing and progressing through the challenges and the differences and a change of the industry are the ones that will separate themselves from other people, right? It's going to continue where people leave real estate, but that's because of the shit that we go through, we grow through, and we just get better at it, right? So, like for me, could I have a full sphere base back in Jersey? Yeah. But would it help me get better? Maybe not. Maybe not. Who am I to say?
My
right?
perspective on it is, if I had my sphere and referrals and like what I was doing my first year of real estate, I was allowed to be lazy.
Yeah.
And that's not good for me personally, because
it requires work.
I will lean into the leisure life. That's just who I am. It's like, I like the beach,
And it's true, dude. I mean, even here we see there's a lot of part-time agents, or like, oh, I have a family friend, or like, oh, my boy just got his license, or my homegirl has had her license but she's never transacted. It's like, cool, they do it on the side, but like, what kind of value are they actually providing other than like they can just help you write contracts because they have someone to help?
I have a driver's license, but I can't drive a semi-truck,
Apples, oranges, same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Fucking jackass. I get it, and I love it. And obviously, San Diego's a different animal and a different beast, and it's been challenging, right? You've been on the team. January will be 2 years, right?
Yeah.
January 2022.
February 11th will be 2 years.
2025, right? Okay, cool. Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about what the transition was like coming into real estate in San Diego, and the biggest challenge for you when you first joined.
The transition from physical real estate in like Northern California compared to Southern California, the first thing was like, oh, there's no crawl spaces here. Like everything is on slab. Like just constructionally, it's like they do build differently down here than they do up in Northern California due to like earthquakes and things like that. Business wise, not having my family, friends, anybody down here buying homes, I was coming in the mindset I'm building a business from scratch, and coming onto this team, Zillow being super important, and everything that I learned in Northern California kind of went out the window when I
Yeah.
came down here,
Fresh start.
because you guys do it differently. Like the Dean Aguilar Group does it differently. It's very authentic, it's very genuine, and it's very real. And up in NorCal, I was at 3 different brokerages throughout 1 year. So if that says anything, the training sucked. It they it felt like a lot of the times people were looking for a check. So
Transactional realtors.
the brokers at the business were looking for a check. So the first real estate transaction I ever did, I walked into the office, he handed me my check, and he said, "We're going to have to let you go." And it was 2 weeks at the company. And I said, "Why?" And he said, he shrugged his shoulders. And I was like, "So is there anything I can take away and, improve myself with this?" And he said, "It's just not working out." So
In 2 weeks.
in 2 weeks. So
Talk about a microscope.
exactly, and it was a 50-50 split. No surprise there. Yeah.
What was the price point?
850.
Okay.
Yeah. So I moved here, and I knew that like this was a family, this was a team,
Yeah.
and you guys actually cared about yourselves and each other, and it was a healthy balance. Coming in, we were doing the Saturday workouts.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Fit camp.
Fit camp. Dag
And then
Fit
all you
Camp.
fuckers stop showing up, little bitch.
This is hard, man. Dag Fit Camp was a big part of the reason. It's like, yes, like I like fitness. It's a big mental health aspect in my life, and just doing that and being with the team, it's like, this is what it's about. This is what you guys offer, and it's all about the lifestyle rather than just making money. So,
Yeah, and it's not necessarily a lifestyle outside of it. It's a lifestyle of a family
Exactly.
incorporated with
Correct.
real estate, right?
Yeah.
And I think that goes without saying, right? So, I always say it all the time, and I am biased. DAG is all I know. Been here since
That's all you need to know, man.
January of 2021. January 2021, but like,
Yeah.
exactly. It's
You
all I
joined the
need to know.
team without a license.
No.
You didn't have your license yet, right?
My license didn't come in, and I passed the exam. My license didn't come in until March.
That's what it was.
So I was really just like interning.
Yeah.
Like I was really just like listening. I didn't speak to clients. I didn't do showings. Like I literally just sat in the office, like almost like a fly on the wall, and I just listened and paid attention. So that when I got my license in March, I could just hit the ground running.
It's incredible.
And that was a goal.
Yeah.
And it was great. And at the time, I was like the 20th agent to join.
Anybody listening, that's a great game plan for starting real estate.
Yeah, but for the most part, nobody's really gonna allow that anymore. One, we were a much smaller team. Like we wouldn't do that now.
Okay, yeah.
But so it's different circumstances, right? So it's a little bit more on
But
the
more so, like finding.
Yeah, you definitely gotta
Yeah.
find where you fit. That's the biggest thing. You can't go like the first thing, especially in my role as like the director of growth, is when people lead on calls, like when I'm talking to other agents and they're like, talking about a potential transition to a new team or brokerage,
Yeah.
is if they're like one of the first couple of questions is what are your splits or what kind of leads you provide, you're automatically out. The conversation's already like out of my head. Like
Yeah.
I'm just gonna kind of see kind of where it goes. But in my eyes, that's the only thing you care about.
Yeah.
Those are the realtors that are brokerage hoppers every 6 months. Because as soon as you get unhappy and unsatisfied with how things are going because something slowed down and you're not getting what you want, you're out.
Yeah, and they're blaming other people.
Exactly. Dude, 100%.
Yeah.
But again, right?
We
like,
have a lot of complainers in the industry.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
and
just how it goes.
everyone has their right to like they have their own thing, their own process, their own systems. It's just not us. Like we're not everyone's cup of tea or shot of tequila.
Yeah.
It's more so the DAG way, right? So like,
Yeah.
and that's fine. There's plenty of people that I know personally that have been on 4 different teams in the last 8 months. Like you do what you got to do, but like there's obviously something else
Doesn't
wrong.
seem ideal.
It might not be the team or the brokerage. There's comes a point where like you got to look in the mirror.
Yeah.
But going back to what I was saying with like being at DAG is for me, it was more so like growing up in hospitality management. I learned very quickly the difference between a boss and a leader. And when I got my license, like I had my conversations with other brokerages and other team owners or leaders.
Yeah.
And it's the typical run of the mill, like build your spreadsheet, bring me 50 referral people or this and that, or read this book. It's like, no, like what? And it was just,
Read the book.
like,
It's great. Yeah.
all right, coach.
Yeah.
And I get like people have an older way of training and coaching, and to each their own. That just wasn't. I knew I wasn't going to connect with them.
Yeah.
And then those are all over the phone. And then I got introduced to Dean and Aphrodite, And in 5 minutes, I was just like, hey, I really, no disrespect, like whatever you guys have left to say, great, but can I just like sign? And then we can continue the convo. Like I'm good. I'm sold. You got me.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like, it was like, oh no, we're not trying to sell. It's like, but you sold me either way.
That's why.
And that's
Exactly.
why, because there's nothing to sell. And then they're like, well, you don't have your license yet, so you can like hang out, but you can't do shit. I was like, fuck me. Okay, cool. I'll just sit in this corner for the next 2 months.
Yeah.
But again, right? It's, everyone has their own process of finding where they fit.
Yeah.
And you're going on 2 years now with the team, so part of your transition, part of the experience, like what has been like the most, without saying the team, without stroking the ego, right? What's been like your favorite part about joining the team in real estate overall?
Oh, the role plays
in San Diego. Okay.
Our role play meetings, coming in immediately and having those experiences. I never had those.
Yeah.
And it was completely different. And I was like, oh, this is real life. This is real things that we're going to run into during our career. This is what I need to be learning and practicing to be successful here. Yep. This is it. So that was the main thing where it's like, okay, I'm gaining a lot of value, but it did kick my confidence a lot, for sure, because
and again, right,
that's me, and I know that's me, but it's like, yeah, when I mess up, I get in my head sometimes with that stuff.
Everyone does, bro. And you're what, 24?
25.
So? 25. Oh, you can rent a car now.
26 in April.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Wow, 20.
Single.
Technically? Do I have to call both
of them? All right, guys.
Yeah, your face is the color of the couch, bro. Yeah. Shit. No, listen, right? Being younger, right? Even when I was 26, I was in Vegas, and still, in the hospitality, nightclub, day club industry.
Hospitality management. He's in the clubs.
Yeah, right.
It's happening here.
Something like that. Whatever. Different life, different Louis P, different lifestyle.
Yeah,
for sure. But obviously, the confidence thing is huge because it just helps you gain the confidence, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of the things we talked about is like the biggest thing that'll help separate you and help you elevate is knowing your shit, for one. And that's the point of role play.
Yeah.
Role play is allowing you to progress, allowing you to learn your shit, know your shit, and actually be able to talk your shit.
Yeah.
So a lot of shit going on. But it's also a way to help kind of elevate your game. Yeah. And like we talk about those agents like, I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what I'm doing. No, grandma. Sorry.
Yeah, but 30
years ago wasn't
how. You didn't sign the document, so you sent in an offer without signatures, but you've been doing this for 30 years, so okay.
Yeah. The math ain't math in here.
Yeah.
But again, right, at the same time, like to that point, there's those people, those agents where it's like, hey, cool, great, amazing, congrats, you lasted this long in real estate, like power to you for getting through.
Yeah.
But it's not the same as it was back in 1995.
An old dog can always learn new tricks.
You would think. But again, right, it's always at the growth concept. Yeah. You have to be in a growth mindset in everything in life. Yes. Like if you're not living to learn and grow, like what the fuck's the point?
Yeah.
Like you're just staying in the same place and forcing you guys in role play to like, hey, you got to push your limits so that you get over the hump. The growth is insurmountable and it's fucking amazing to watch unfold, like in person. Dude, even myself, like
what it does, the confidence it gives you out in the field.
For sure.
That's what it does.
100%.
And it almost like, say you come back with an experience where like, oh, I messed up and with this client and I think I lost one. What it does is like prevents that. So it's like you go through that already, like if an objection comes up, you know how to handle it or whatever. So.
Right. 100%. So like obviously with those experiences, like what's been your favorite experience about SoCal real estate?
I think, I don't want to say it, but I think the deal we did together.
Oh shit! The listing. So let's talk about that. Moving parts, dude.
Okay. So should I just tell the story?
I mean, you can break it down.
Okay.
You can,
Well, I had this lead.
Spark notes it.
Yeah. Everybody listening to the number one podcast in the world, Dag Life Podcast.
Fuck you, Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Love you though, bro. You're the shit.
Here is a cool story. So I get an open house lead, and she is a single mother, soon to be single mother, going through a divorce, and she had cancer and wasn't talking to the husband, and she needed to sell her house, and I had no idea how to navigate that situation because he was a big scary man, and I was talking to his wife that he was divorcing, so it was a little weird probably.
And this was a year ago,
Yeah,
November
no.
2023, right?
No, this was
we did it in February, but you met her a few months prior.
Yes, yeah, we closed in February. Yeah,
but you met her in November.
met her in November.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah, so nurtured for a little bit and stayed on it, and then you had the idea to get involved on the husband's end, and that's what signed the contract. Mike Tyson. You handled that side of things, and I handled the wife sides of things, and we were very successful. We got them more than they were asking for, and it went super well
in 30 days.
And we had a lot of issues and a lot of drama with whatever, but the transaction itself was smooth.
Shout out to Haley.
Shout out Haley too.
Haley and Mariana pulled through.
3 DAG agents. One deal.
It's a DAG threesome. Loved it. We fucked that deal.
Wow, dude. That deal to Paris.
Yeah, for sure. That was good. But no, you're right, dude. It was definitely
flagged on YouTube out here.
It was definitely one of those things where it's like, again, real estate takes a turn, right? It's not always gonna be the same.
It never is.
It never is. But you come across people. You guys watch online and on TV and shit like that. That's not. That's me. That's
Selling Sunset's fake. By the way, not fucking real.
The HGTV stuff, until you're really in real estate, you'll never understand. But it's okay. It's not your job to. It's ours to. And deliver it. But at the same time, that kind of experience is it was a growth component for both of us. And we took a couple that was having challenges and struggles, and they had a huge pain point to push forward their divorce. And we were able to make it happen for them. Without any nonstop bickering, without butting heads. And it was amicable transaction where everyone was happy. And that's the beauty of what real estate does, is our job is to make the transition or the process easy and painless for clients. And
if we're good at it.
If we're good at it, right?
Shitty agents don't do that.
100%. You just make bigger problems.
Exactly.
But again, there's a skill set and actual process that comes with that from a learning perspective. So, being able to deliver like that for clients is definitely one of the more special things. And being able to deliver every situation and circumstance for a client, whether it's buying a home, selling a home, whatever that looks like, or turning it into a rental, making money. I'm going through 2 absurd processes right now, and my heart hurts for both of these clients, but it's I'm there to make the process easier for them. And that's what real estate is really about in terms of changing lives.
Exactly. Yeah. Just being, and we're never going to know what all real estate is, because it all is never the same. And that's what I love about the industry, is there's always going to be something that adds value and a tool to my tool belt that I can bring to my clients.
For sure.
Incredible.
Agreed. It definitely was a unique transaction. It was fun, but we got it done. We literally listed the house, got an escrow, and closed in less than 30 days. And they were trying to get it done for a year.
We cleaned the house too.
Well, yeah, that too. But again, right? It's part of the process. So looking back at kind of what you've been real estate now for 3 years total, 4 years,
3 years almost.
3 years. Okay. So going on the 3 years, what's the biggest lesson that you've learned?
Right now is don't put all my eggs in one basket.
Okay,
right now,
elaborate.
It's you get these clients that are super hot right off the bat, but then they kind of die out sometimes because they're super excited. But they don't have everything figured out.
And you have to help them get it figured out.
Taking my emotions out of things has definitely been a big one. Emotional maturity is massive in this industry.
For sure.
If you're a crybaby, you'll never make it.
5-second funeral.
And I'm sometimes a crybaby, but
nah, there's a crybaby, then there's you. You're like a little fucking bitch sometimes.
Dude, soft serve at Wendy's, whatever, bro.
Softer than warm butter.
Yeah. But yeah, emotional maturity and maintaining, relationships with my other clients when one is, up here as an A client and the others are down here at C's. Managing, just everybody and their timelines.
Building an actual business, right? That's what we're talking about, is cultivating a business and having a process and a system behind growing that business, other than just saying, need to get a deal closed, need to get a deal closed, need to get a deal closed.
Transactional.
I'm glad that you brought that up because we're at the time of the year where just next week we have our business planning for collectively as a team.
Yeah.
Obviously, ops side, management side, we've been working on a lot of other stuff already, but each individual agent, like we're building out what that 2025 business plan is going to look like. Because for a realtor, if you're a realtor and you literally go transaction by transaction, you're just
You
a
hate your
transaction
life.
realtor. You do because you're always looking for the next check. You need the next check
and
in
then
January.
You're stressed.
You need the next check to pay taxes or pay this or pay that. If you don't have that essential business flow going and those processes and systems in place, then you're exactly where you were at the beginning of the year. It's like, where's my next check coming from?
Yeah, you're just chasing.
That's it.
That's it.
Commission breath, like clients can spot it from a mile away.
Exactly, and that it ruins your business.
Yeah,
so
sure.
you can tell that this realtor is struggling, whatever, broke, and needs a check.
For sure. 100%.
If you give off that energy,
sniff that shit out from a mile away.
Nobody's gonna trust you.
Yeah.
Nobody can trust a person like that because they're in it for themselves.
For sure. So in terms of like obviously with like your outlook, like call it 2025 and beyond, what are some things that you're super stoked about or planning to kind of either elevate your business or just kind of take it to the next level, or even like a super big focus that you want to work on?
OnlyFans.
Cool. Well, we have the joint account. I'm just kidding.
No, this social media. My brother Bryce, he's been doing it.
He's a beast,
and he's been crushing it. And he picks up 2 to 5 leads every single day from it.
Love it.
And he uses it as a CRM at the end of the day. And so like he's dialed in his strategy and everything he does on social media. He's given me the plan. I just need to film myself a little bit more.
Execution, man.
Yeah, I get in my head about video for some reason. It's more so what stops me is I want to share my authentic and genuine self, and when I'm alone in a room filming myself, it doesn't feel that way at all.
Because you either scripted or it's put on a show, a facade.
Exactly. So I'm, I've got some videos made. I'm still toying with them, and like I've got this whole Carlsbad Chad outlook for North County. I really want to take over that area, and that's my dream is to sell houses in North County and really build my brand there and live the lifestyle there. That is
matter executing.
That's my dream.
Dude, I posted something the other day on social media. Obviously, I'm big on social media in terms of like, I'm not big in terms of like my database or
TikTok
community.
Blown up a little bit, man.
A little bit, but like again, from like a community perspective, like I have one thing on my Instagram bio is if I'm positively impacting one human per day, I'm doing my job as a human. And my whole focus on social media is I don't care what I put out as long as there's some kind of positive takeaway from it, or even one person. And what I explained a couple of weeks ago, I think you were sick or something, on like a Thursday meeting, like our Thursday role play is.
I just wasn't here. You don't have to get my back on that,
dude.
I'll ditch.
I'm gonna have to hit up Bryce. Like, Bryce, talk to your boy.
Hey.
But the conversation was, listen, like if you look at, for example, what's the most amount of views you've gotten on a video?
I have no idea. Yeah,
don't
post videos.
Take a guess. Most amount of likes you've gotten on a post?
600.
Cool. Imagine you're in a fucking room speaking to 600 people.
Terrifying.
Terrifying, right?
Yeah.
But again, it's 600 people that interacted with something that they liked about Chad.
My shirt was off.
You look like Edward in Twilight. It's all shiny, sparkling shit. But again, right? And obviously that's just kind of like a very watered down example. But at the same time, it's like the more, it doesn't really matter what the content is as long as it's something that's potentially providing value. Now, if you're the person that you're gonna fake it till you make it, like most people will be like, all right, he doesn't really know what he's saying, or I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
When obviously there's the fear of rejection, the fear of what other people are gonna think, the fear of what other people are gonna say.
Yes.
But again, obviously on the younger side, it's a little bit harder to overcome that. I was there at one point, but at the same time, it's like, what do you have to lose?
Nothing.
And what do you have to gain?
And everything to gain.
Everything
to gain. And from the time I do it to the time I stop, like that time frame, if I start now, it's gonna, I get that. I get all these things, and it's like, I just need to
just do it.
Commit, and I'm gonna film myself, and I'm not gonna be afraid. And if people, shit on me, then
dude, see,
whatever.
See, that was the worst part right there. Is your first thought went to if people shit on me. who cares if people shit on
Exactly.
you?
Exactly.
That shouldn't even be a thought. About like
haters are a good thing at the end of the day, no?
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it's like I couldn't care. Like when I post content, I
Yeah.
don't think about what if this doesn't hit with someone.
Yeah.
I think about it's in line with most of my content, so somebody's going to react to it.
Yeah.
And if no one does, it doesn't matter. The
Yeah.
next post is coming anyway.
Yeah.
It's a component of it's kind of like a trickle down effect, right? Because once you
Yeah.
get to a point, and again, it takes some time and practice and skill set, and the mindset and ability to be like, I couldn't care less. For me, it's like, dude, at the end of the day,
I can say that.
people are gonna people. Hey, you don't say that. The Hangover. The Hangover with fucking Alan. But anyways, at the end of the day, like,
Yeah.
people are gonna judge.
Always.
People are gonna hate.
Always.
People are gonna mock.
Yeah.
People are gonna make fun, and the people doing that are the ones that don't have the courage and are envious that you do. The only people
Yeah.
doing that, it's not people above you. People above you will never hate on. And when I say above, like people that have
Taller.
people, that's a lot of people for us. That's half the world. But when it's when people that are like more well off in terms of more successful at what they've done than you, nobody's gonna try to knock you down because guess what? They were there at some point too, and they had to start to get to where they are. The only people fucking talking shit are the ones that are all the way down here, that are afraid to start, that are discouraged, that are embarrassed, that hate their appearance, that think so much about what other people think and feel that if they post something and they don't get enough likes, they're going to delete it and then repost it another fucking time. Yeah. The only people that have negative shit to say are the ones that aren't doing it for themselves. And once I got in the mindset of like, I 100% control what I'm capable of achieving, and I got to do it. Yeah. Because I don't want to be in a place where like, fuck, I should have just made that one post. Or just if I just made one more post or just tried one more time, I could have made it. I could have done it.
Those thoughts eat at you.
They fucking destroy you, and regret is poison, bro.
Yeah. So
the one thing I talk about a lot when it comes to like advice with friends, and it's like, I don't even fear dying. Like I don't even.
It's inevitable.
I don't even care. Like not that I don't care. I could die tomorrow. I could leave here today and be done. I could get in an accident and be dead. Right. Yeah. Pray. Like please don't.
God.
Don't let that happen.
Don't.
But at the same time, my biggest fear in life is when I die and pass on is meeting the version of myself that I was supposed to become, and I didn't have the fucking balls to try to become that person. Yeah. That's what fucking drives me. Yeah. And potential is the scariest word in the English dictionary because everyone has potential. Yeah. But also, the most successful place in the world is a graveyard because everyone dies with their fucking dreams and their goals. And I will not be that fucking person.
That is a bar.
That's a bar.
Wow.
I just gave myself chills, bro.
Yeah. No,
and that's once you get to that
you're
point.
You're 100% correct. And like I've nobody knows this, but like I've deleted all social media apps off of my phone for the last month and a half. Yeah. Because it's literally been like I'm not going back on social media until I'm producing, not consuming. Yeah. I'd be sitting there scrolling for 2 hours, and I have no idea.
Scrolling or swiping?
Scrolling. I'm not on Tinder. Ew, no, absolutely not. No, I'll be sitting there. I was for an hour, and I don't even know what I just watched. Yeah, and it's
or how many.
I want to use social media as a platform of production for my life.
Yeah, it's huge, dude, and I love talking about it because. Man, I know so many people that, like even people locally that are like paying companies for like fake followers and fake likes, and it's like it's funny because you'll see someone they look more status. Yeah. You'll see someone with like 15,000 followers, but each post gets like 50 likes. Yeah. All right, the math ain't math.
Once they start doing that, they start getting less likes because everybody.
But yeah, right. So like you lose engagement when you have that fake following. This like cool, you got a lot of followers. Unless you got like hundreds of thousands, like no one gives a fuck. Like your local influencer that has 10,000 followers.
It doesn't make any sense to me because what you're doing there is I want to be famous online. I want a status online, but not in real life.
Yep. Well, the perception is if you have status online, you have status in real life. So and perception is reality, right? So that's people's thought process. Like there's people with like 3,000 followers, but they're getting like 2,500 likes on every post. It's like. That math doesn't even math even more.
I can go up to somebody and tell them I have $3 million in my bank account.
Yeah, gives a fuck.
I'm like
again, right? We live in a we live in
Why?
a digital age, a social media age. Like I
Yeah.
get the fact that people they want to be recognized. It is what it is, to each their own. But when you're paying money to do that instead of trying to grow organically and like provide value, like again,
What do you want your recognition to
yeah,
be? Yeah, like I don't want to be recognized as my name. I
people
want to be recognized for the things I've done in people's life.
when it comes to business, again, like
Yeah.
I always play devil's advocate. I'm not advocating for it. I would never do it. It's terrible. Um, but not in terrible in a sense where like you just there's no point to it, in my
You're
opinion.
shooting yourself in the foot, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what some people do, it's like the more brand notoriety they make for
Yeah.
themselves, like whatever industry, right? You're a fucking chef, so that means you're even a better chef, or you get more notoriety for like businesses, or you're a trainer, or you're a health coach, or you're a fucking DJ, whatever it is. It's creating brand notoriety in their eyes. Now, again, I'm not going to agree with it, but it
Yeah.
doesn't impact me, so I couldn't give a fucking shit less.
Yeah.
It's just in the social media age, it's like that's what people are so focused on instead of making that impact. But again, right, to each their own. Like let people do what they want to do. It doesn't impact us whatsoever, so it shouldn't like it doesn't bother me.
No, yeah.
Just you can just tell the
It-
people that do it.
You know,
But yeah, you know when it comes to social, like it is what it is. Obviously, it's tough to want to get that platform going and started, but once you start, man, really just putting out the first couple of pieces of content, that's really kind of what helps you move things along. Because then you're like, oh, okay, this isn't so scary.
yeah, and I think this experience, today here
Yeah.
has kind of opened my eyes to that.
Yes.
I think, like anything in life, imagination makes things scarier than they actually are. And when you're in your head, things don't go well. But when you take action, things do go well. So.
And it's because we often come from a place of mindset of like always worrying about what can go wrong, while we should be focusing on all the things that can go right.
It's a sense of caution almost, but
Yeah.
also like you call me soft.
It's because you are.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
But no, listen, I hear you, right? So obviously, again, dude, being 25, like you still have so much ahead of you. Like when I was 25, I was working in Vegas. Like life was completely different, and I think back to like when I was 25, not like it was 20 years ago. It was only 8 years ago. I mean, 8 years is a long time.
Damn.
The Kevin Hart.
You're old, dude.
I mean, shit.
I see the gray in your beard.
dude,
You can't hide it.
Ladies love this salt and pepper, though.
I'm sure.
Let me tell you,
Yeah.
they love it.
Yeah.
Anyways, story for another day. Obviously 18 was only 7 years
Ladies
ago.
don't like.
So you got like patchy
What
goat.
I got? Yeah, it's not working out.
It's like
dude.
patchy goat hair. But like being 18 was 7
Yeah.
years ago for you,
Correct.
right? So 25 was 8 years for me. So
Yeah.
a lot has happened. My life is night and day different. Like completely, and I'm sure the same for you. If
Yeah.
you can go back to 18-year-old Chad,
Nope.
if you
Don't
can,
take me there,
if
dude.
you can go back
I
to
really don't
18-year-old
want to go to
Chad,
that place.
and you can give him your best piece of advice right now, what would it be?
Do what is right for you, what you know is right for you in your gut, not what you want people to look at you as, or what you want your brothers to look at you as, or what your brothers want you to do, or your mom and dad want you to do. Do what's right for you and just maintain that.
No.
Don't get off the path.
Speaks volumes.
I've struggled, we try and walk in a straight line, but it turns out curvy. So
It's because we try to control the things that we don't have control over.
Yeah.
And it took me a lot of pain and loss and suffering and struggle and hardships to understand that like,
Yeah.
okay, I don't have control over almost anything. And growing up, broken childhood, broken family, broken household, like once I hit like 8, 9, 10 years old,
Yeah.
story for another day, I promised myself that when I had the power to control my life, I was going to control everything. Boy, was I wrong.
Yeah.
And I thought like I had control of everything, and I learned something really young. It was humble yourself before life humbles you. And
I love that.
life humbled me a lot.
Yeah.
And it's because I thought I could control more than I could, and I really couldn't. I rarely could.
Yeah.
So over the last couple of years, especially the last 2.5 years specifically, is I've focused more so on only the things that I can control.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's exactly what you just said, right? Like listen to myself.
Yeah.
The outside noise doesn't matter. All that matters is the direction that I'm heading, where I want to go.
Yeah.
But I also have to execute to get there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of where you're at. So
Yeah, it's like I'm in a point where I am young, and I do realize that, and there is a lot of life that I'm going to go through. And like I think a lot of people my age can, relate to this, where it's people, especially in this day and age, identity is a huge aspect for people's life
For
right now.
sure.
And everybody's worried about who am I? Who am I? And like I was going through that, and I kind of switched it and was like, I don't need to know who I am exactly right now. It's just I know who I'm not. And I know who I'm not going to be, and I know who I'm not going to act towards people.
Hmm.
And that's what I'm living off of on that.
Yeah. And again, right? It's you're always evolving and always changing. Like the person I was 2 years ago,
Yeah.
fucking insane. But sometimes it takes going through hard shit.
Yeah.
And like I'm grateful for all the shit that I've been through. And to your point, like
Yeah.
there's no specific person or thing you want to become. It's just growing every day.
Exactly.
And you're gonna get to where you want to be. It's just a matter of listening to your own voice and following your own path.
Yeah.
And that path's gonna look like this. It's not gonna look like this. That's the main fucking thing. It's never gonna be a straight line.
Yeah.
Because
Ditches, tunnels.
yeah,
trenches.
we make plans, and the universe and God is like, ha, gotcha, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, nah, that's not happening.
Yeah.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Those those moments of humility, and you're being humbled by God, it allows you to find the gratitude in life.
For sure.
And it's what we need in those moments. Like suffering brings character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Struggle brings strength, pain brings power, and so many other things to say, but that's a story
Yeah.
for another day.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, I just rhymed.
Yeah.
Didn't even mean to, but it's all good.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Swerve. But listen, right? Obviously, long conversation. Had a lot of fun chatting with you.
Yeah.
One thing I want to lead with, or end with, sorry, close it out, is one thing we talk about a lot here on the team and with each individual is like legacy, right? Legacy. Some people, obviously, there was a famous interview that went out over the weekend from Mike Tyson with a little 12-year-old girl. It's like legacy means nothing. People were like, "Damn, Mike Tyson's just like kind of ruined
I
the
honestly
legacy
don't
thing."
know what you're talking about.
So there was a video with Mike Tyson who was fighting Jake Paul over the weekend.
Yeah, I saw that.
And there was an interview before that, like the day before, where this 12-year-old like influencer interviewer like got to interview Mike Tyson.
Okay.
And she asked him about his
12-year-old
yeah,
interviewer.
Yep.
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
social media,
Awesome.
media. She got there by
Yeah,
posting, right?
Exactly.
And but again, opportunity comes from the stuff that you create. So she
Yeah.
asked him what he thought about legacy. He said legacy doesn't mean anything. It's fake. It's a word that people use to stroke their ego to be remembered when they're gone. Like when I die, I'll be dust, and that's all that matters.
Wow.
And that's powerful. And a lot of people are like, "Damn, that hits different."
Yeah.
Now I get it, right? I always see two sides of the fence of everything, just to try to put myself in other people's shoes. But legacy can also mean like, what do you want to leave behind? Now, will it impact? Will there have any impact when you're gone? Maybe not. But I also believe, especially in the circumstance that I'm in, which I know Mike Tyson was in, is
Yeah.
every family has that generational individual that changes the course of their entire family.
Yeah.
And I know I'm that for my family. So I know my legacy, the main thing I want is I just want to be remembered for having a good heart.
Yeah.
It's the main thing, and just impacting millions of lives and changing the course of my family's history, right? There's a whole bunch of components to that.
Yeah.
What do you want Chad's legacy to be?
So I had a friend growing up. First friend I ever made. Our mothers were very close, still very are. And he got hit by a drunk driver 2 years ago, killed. After that, I was really, going through some stuff with that, and I go to his funeral and I see everybody's playing the videos of, my friend Vance and the memories he's made and what he left behind, at 23 years old was happiness and pure gratitude towards the people he was with, and he just created good memories and made an impact on people's lives like that. I want to take that and always treat people, with gratitude and respect and the way he did and create memories with people, but I also really want to be able to provide a lot of value to people's lives and be valuable to the people around me, and eventually, get married, have kids, and that's, I know when that happens, that's going to be my bigger why is
of course
creating generational wealth in real estate. Like that's big for me. That's
life-changing.
Yeah, that's a big goal of mine is, buying a home in San Diego County and having my kids live in it, and then taking on investment properties and things like that.
Yeah.
And that's what I want my legacy to be, is my family and the people I'm around. And I'm not looking for fame or anything like that. That doesn't sound fun to me. I just want to be remembered, as a gentle soul and loving, and nobody can be like Christ, but try and be like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that, dude. It's powerful. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
I'm sorry for Vance. It's tough. But
it
changes you.
I look at it as like, that kid, like, during his life, he was going through a lot of pain, and I believe there's a life after death, and I believe he's in a way better spot than we are. So
yeah, well, it's good. It's powerful to believe that. So, well, listen, I think that's a great place to end it. I appreciate your time. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode of Dag Life Podcast. See you next time. Okay, shirt off.
Oh yeah.
Because that's gonna zoom to you.
Quick bait.
Okay, wait, hold on. Now, hold on. Slow down. So I did that. Now do what you just did before that with this. Smash that button because it's gonna pan to you doing this.
Go ahead and smash that like button. Smash that subscribe. Dag Life Podcast, #1 podcast in the world. You heard it here. Thanks for watching.